All starting.
Alrighty. What is up, guys? We're gonna get into a little WGLNA action tonight. Silver League. We got Get Flanked versus the Foxey Baddies. And we are starting out on Sand River. I don't know if we've ever started out on Sand River. More or less seen 4 Sand River maps in all of our casting careers so far, Alarai.
I'm just surprised that we're doing Sand River and that oh god, what are they called? My mind is just farted. R7 is not on it. That's what I was trying to say. What's this nonsense? Caps lock F3X0P. Jesus Christ.
Got that hotkey for it. We'll see some of the. Let's see here. We got Get Flanked, Letta from that bat check. Gonna be trying to get those early lights. Sublime gonna be going down through the little delta here. He's not gonna be getting lit, but we'll have to see what's going down with these teams. We've seen some E5 pressure before in the middle, but never with the 416. 416 not having that much gun depression, so being out here in the center, a little confusing to me, but I'm sure they got it figured out.
Yeah, well, it seems a little bit like Clan League all over again, isn't it? We've got a Foxy team here playing a Reddit team.
Yeah, baby. And actually, I think there's a few Reddit on Reddit action going on here. But right now, we're just checking out the Foxy Baddies. You know, we remember Tedster from the Clan League. He was that Artie player. See him now in the E5, so could he actually be bringing an Artie to a map? I'd love to say yes and see some of that
I don't
action,
think we'll see an Artie in 7v7. You're just taking too much health off the front line.
I have seen it on the Gold League, but it's very map dependent. I mean, Sand River can be one of those maps because there's so much space between you and the enemy, and setting up an Artie on a attack there is probably pretty easy. But I do understand like the hit point value of 7v7. You know, we're used to 14 versus 14. You can kind of shed some HP and get away with it. And I'm still.
So what's going on?
There's just, you know.
These Foxy guys just sitting in this middle ridge here, trying to like light up the flanker guys, but it's not happening. And yeah, they're grouping up and then pushing towards the south now. So I guess that's something.
And it's kind of a weird situation because most of these tanks do have 400 view range, so there's not like, hey, mediums are gonna be better, blah blah blah. You know, you have the STB poking over. He's potentially lighting the E5. The E5 is potentially lighting them back because they have similar view ranges. You know, but we'll see Foxy Baddies here. They're on the offense in the blue team. They're going to have these mediums coming down the 0 line. Now, this is the first action here as 3 minutes have already depleted. So they know they need to get set up very quickly here, or they could be looking in time of jeopardy. Having that lack of time on their side. Ledif going to be getting lit in that bat chat. It's going to be forced to get down. Now, for Get Flanked to lose those eyes, now they'll have very little clue of what's going down near the cap. As the Conqueror being played by Bryant21, he's the only one with eyes on the situation in the south here. So Sublime in the 416 can apply a little bit of cap pressure as he knows he won't be getting lit from his right hand side, but he does have to watch out for that STB as this is a very common spot to start the capture point. Now we've seen that he pushed the tree into the capture, hoping to give himself a little bit of a camo bonus. We'll have to see if that works.
I think it's a good use of that tier 8. The one thing to note is that the Foxy guys brought 6 10s and an 8, whereas the flanker guys brought 5 10s and 2 9s. So the 68 points being split up just a tiny bit differently there.
Yeah, and actually that Conqueror pick, it's pretty decent for this in that the Conqueror is an accurate tank. And I actually like that a lot. But, you know, the 416 having that low profile, you can get some nice whiffs from your enemy there if they're trying to get a cap reset. But we see Get Flanked here, trying to figure out what to do, knowing that the Foxy Baddies do have this G through K control. Now, I'd be a little more worried if they were pushed up to K9, K0, G9, G0, pardon me. But luckily, Brian's still back here holding it down with the Conqueror. Just trying to shoot the cupolas of those mediums, but only having success on one shot so far.
He's doing pretty well. The T22 from Foxey on 11% health now.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Okay, yep. He was hiding behind the bars there. Used to having the mod pack, but it's all good. As all hard all the time gonna be taken out by Praetorian.
Yeah, my ult key getting a workout at the moment.
Just a little pro tip, I set that up to always show the HP bars, and that way I can still talk to you. But yeah, we're watching the Foxy Baddies here. They're on offense, currently down one tank and a tier 10 at that. So that's a lot of HP out of the battle for them. As Get Flanked barely has any chip damage except for on 2 tanks. Conqueror of Brian 21 me taken down to half HP. Tedster's sneaking up on the inside. He's looking to get shots on Brian and that Conqueror. But Rummy's going to be poking over mid as we see the E5s from Get Flank getting a little more aggressive. They understand 2 minutes left that the Foxy Baddies are going to have to go all in very shortly here. As the one-man cap only takes a minute and 30 seconds. So if properly screened, that could be a big issue for Get Flank, but it looks like they're doing the best they can as we now see the Foxy Baddies pushing in with the mediums. They're going to be pushing on Bryant and that Conqueror. They want to get him out and start that cap pressure right now as there's a minute 40 seconds left. So Bryant going to be feeling the heat very shortly here, but he does have 2 mediums to back him up. Zeagle's going in, picking up the track shot. Going to force Bryant to use that repair kit. Hopefully he doesn't get ammo racked in this situation. As Carjacks and Praetorian in the back there giving him supporting fire. Strike getting taken out of 451. And that Strike with the 0, as I just realized there's 2 strikes. 30 seconds on cap. So Foxy Baddies doing all that they can to apply the pressure in the middle here, as well as shooting some of the mediums on the outside. But the Batchat 25T is coming up from behind. He'll be able to take out Sublime or even get a clutch reset, and that is Ledif in that Batchat. So we'll grab some eyes from back here as he will be poking over. Gonna be looking to hit Sublime. Gonna pick up that reset. So now 44 seconds left in the game. Only thing Foxy Baddies can do now is eliminate all the Get Flank players. But it doesn't look like that will be happening as there's so much HP left for the Get Flank crew. As they'll be taking out Zeagles with Den Den and Tedster the only ones left remaining here. It looks like a pretty solid defense coming out of Get Flank for match number 1. And we see an absolute low roll there, a 300 getting popped on Tedster. Welcome to RNG, baby.
It's good to get that out of the way, you know. Hopefully you won't see another 300 roll for the rest of the night.
Yeah. So, Alurai, what are your thoughts on what did we just see?
So we saw Foxy split off the bat. They sent their 2 heavies, 2 E5s and their tier 8, so the object 416 into the center of the map. The rest of the tanks, the heavies, the mediums going out towards the east eventually. But because they were split, they couldn't really risk losing some health to push up to that G9, G0 area as you were talking about. Because they were split up, the guys that were in the middle were a little bit too slow and wanted to flex around and help. That defensive position that Get Flank was using is just really good. They also had the mobility with the Batchat, the T55, and the STB, and the T22 that are all able to move around the place a lot quicker than the Foxy guys could. When you're on defense, you can have an E5 and a Conqueror, or 2 E5s and a Conqueror just sort of sitting around, and they can like slowly move around the place. But when you're on attack and you're trying to open up your enemy and you know, be able to get an advantage, kill a tank, and move on, you need to be able to to move around. You know, Sandra is a map where you need a mobility advantage. and if you can't get one, then you're in a lot of trouble. That Conqueror from Bryant, they're actually coming third in damage for his team. So that tier 9 doing a lot of work, whereas Sublime in his tier 8, he sort of sat on cap. Got pushed off it when he got lit. Otherwise, contributing not a lot to that battle.
Yeah, and once again, like you're talking about, Sand River is a very difficult map to flex properly because, once you're in an area and you show like, hey, we're down here, like in the south, as soon as you try and move away, there's a potential to get lit very easily on Sand River, and so your defenders can adjust so quickly on that map, being that the two caps are very close together, just protected by that D5 or D6 D7 hill.